at Baltimore. I think this is an earlier game. I've got it a little late. I think it's going to be an early game. But Tennessee at Baltimore, Tennessee getting 6.5. And Baltimore, man, I know this is a revenge game for them last year. Tennessee beat them in the playoffs, so they're probably looking at a little bit of revenge here. But, Baltimore, I was big on Baltimore this last weekend when they were in New England. Like I said, I think weather had a little bit to do with that. But Baltimore is this. The only thing that worries me in this game is Tennessee's defense is just terrible. They're I put them in with the Seattle defense. I mean, they just give up whatever they give up to every team. But I think New England showed that you can run against this front, especially with the injuries that they have. They had no Calais Campbell. They had another injury during the game. And, New England controlled the line of scrimmage and just ran the ball down their throat. And they've got one of the biggest backs, Tennessee. So Derrick Henry, they're probably going to control. They're going to probably try to do the right thing. And if they can get going, then that gets Tannehill going. So I lean Tennessee in this game. I lean Tennessee in this game. This is probably a game I'm not going to bet just because I don't trust that Tennessee defense, and that Baltimore could get rolling in this game. I definitely can see that. I just don't have a really good feel on it. But after watching that New England game, when you basically knew what New England was going to do, and Baltimore couldn't stop it. Now, I mean, is that because New England's just that good up front and better than Tennessee up front? It could be, but Tennessee's got Derrick Henry, and they love to get the run going. And what I saw with Baltimore getting pushed around, that kind of makes me nervous in this game. So I'm probably going to stay off this game altogether. I would lean, if you made me make a pick, I'd lean Tennessee. I'd take the 6.5, but this is probably a game I'm off of just because I don't really trust that Tennessee defense. And I could see Baltimore blowing them out here, but I just can't get a feel for the game. So I'm not going to have any play on this game at all.
This is what I call a high urgency game, meaning Baltimore and Tennessee last week lacked urgency. Now they're both in high urgency to win this game. Tennessee gives up the run, but Baltimore can't throw the ball either. So if they load up on the run with the way that Lamar Jackson is making mistakes, Tennessee might be able to stay in this game. I do think Baltimore wins this game. Do they cover the 6.5? I'm not sure that. I'll tell you what, because both these teams lacked urgency last week, I can't really gauge what they're going to do this week. I know they'll both be in high urgency. Does that mean the best of the best will come out of both teams? It could. And if that happens, what happens? Well, Tennessee's got the edge with the 6.5 points, I think, because of what happened last year. So I think if Tennessee plays their very best game, which they will, I think if Baltimore plays their very best game, which they will, we could have a very, very close game that comes down to the late in the fourth quarter, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to bet this game because I can't count on that. There are better games on the board to play, and I'm not looking to play every game this week. But I do lean Tennessee plus the points. Although, listen, Baltimore could get that running game going 100%, and suddenly Tennessee's in trouble because they can't stop the run because the Colts just ripped through them, play after play after play. Phillip Rivers and the Colts just destroyed them. And not only that, but Frank Reich went for every fourth down last week in Baltimore. Baltimore loves to go for fourth down. So, could be a problem for Tennessee. I'm not going to play the game. Anything can happen here.